My name is Morgan Wright. I work at Marigold Tattoo Studios in Dallas, Texas.
My name is Erica, and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
My name is Betty. I'm located in Oak Cliff at Marigold Tattoo.
Hi guys, I am Marcia Nings, and I am located in Dallas, Texas.
My name is Aeriel Vanderburg, and I'm located in Dallas, Texas.
My name is Jemma, and I work at Marigold Tattoo in Oak Cliff.
I've been tattooing for a little over 3 years. I'm working on my 4th year right now. I think 4 or 5 years.
Since 2015.
I've been tattooing for about 3.5 years now.
Did I do an apprenticeship?
Yeah, I did an apprenticeship for about, I want to say about a year and a half.
My apprenticeship lasted about 2 years, maybe 2.5. I had to learn how to pierce before I could even start watching people tattoo, so that was fun. So I kind of got 2 apprenticeships in one.
No guys, I did not do an apprenticeship. I started in my room. It was in 2021 in November. I was still a senior in high school, and I was like, man, fuck it. I'm just gonna start tattooing because why not? I just fucking went for it, and I just bought myself a tattoo machine off of Amazon and just went at it. In 2 weeks, I was already tattooing people in my room left and right.
I had a very interesting beginning of tattooing. The entire career of tattooing kind of fell into my lap, but I did start an apprenticeship. It was very short-lived, and things got a little crazy during that time, so he kind of pushed me to kind of go out on my own and just figured out as I went, like he did. And it took a while to get to where I am, but the beginning was a bit rocky, but we got there.
I did do an apprenticeship. It was a good 6 or 7 months. Then I decided I just wanted to grow more. After my apprenticeship, once I left, I luckily was accepted into a new spot with how little experience I had, and it was an all-female shop that really allowed me to grow and learn from everyone else there. I was no longer considered an apprentice, but I was still, and I still am, a baby tattooer. I am still learning every day and growing every day. And I'm just grateful that I'm in spaces where I'm allowed to do that.
I did an apprenticeship at first. It was only 7 months, and then I left to do my own thing, and I just kind of became a little bit of a kitchen wizard for a minute until I got back into a tattoo shop, and that's how I got in again.
I feel like as a woman in tattooing, I do feel like I've been treated differently in some aspects, some maybe positive and some probably negative. It's difficult to like stand up for yourself or to stand up for kind of other people when you're in like a male-dominated space. I feel like I don't have much of that issue anymore, but definitely in the past. I've had little comments like, oh, you get a lot of clients because you're pretty. Or, oh, you have so many clients because you're a cute girl. And I'm like, okay.
When I first started getting into tattooing as a woman, I was told by a few men that women didn't belong in the industry. It was pretty off-putting for that style of man and that kind of shop. So I gravitated very quickly towards all women shops, and with artists who were either, you know, in the LGBTQ community or just an open environment to where there was no discrimination against any kind of person or gender stereotype or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, luckily for me, pretty quickly I was able to kind of find a community that was very welcoming to me as a woman and as a lesbian. And I've been very, very, very happy with the people that I've worked with.
So when I first got into tattooing, I felt like there was not a lot of women in the industry. I maybe knew of like less than a handful. I did feel like it was a little bit harder for me to get started just because there wasn't, again, so many women in the tattoo industry. The shop that I started out at was mostly men. I feel like the industry was geared towards more accommodating towards men. Not that I had like a really negative experience. It was just It almost felt like the shop that I was first at was more like a man cave kind of, where the things that I feel like now that I'm at a mostly all-female shop, it's just so natural. Like everyone is so nice and accommodating and just supportive. It was non-existent where I was before. It was more so like more critique and harsh, which is fine. But I feel like now that I'm at a mostly all-women shop, everyone's just more supportive.
Personally, me, I have not had a bad experience as a woman in this industry. I always feel like I adjust myself to the setting, kinda, you know? So I worked in a shop for 3 years where it was just only me and the shop owner, and he was a male. And he really taught me a lot. He was never discriminatory. He never put me down for being a woman. He just gave me every advice that he could, and I never felt like I was being put down, especially like going to other shops or like going to expos nowadays. Like I do see some people, especially by my size and age, like they look at me and they're like, oh, like who's this little kid, you know, walking around with an artist badge? But you can't look too deep into it, you know, because I feel like you can put yourself down being like that, being like, damn, they're all looking at me, they're all thinking this kind of way about me. Being a tattoo artist, you kind of have to learn that. You kind of have to have this I don't give a fuck attitude. And it's not like for our work, but mostly like for other people's opinions. Because a lot of people in this industry don't want to see you shine, but you just don't have to give a fuck. You have to put your foot down and just be yourself, and don't let anybody else put you down. If anybody else is saying anything about you, shake it off. If it bothers you, like, you know, that's gonna ruin your sleep. Don't let that shit bother you, bro. You're gonna thrive, and we'll see what they do.
My experience as a woman and a bisexual woman in tattooing has been, I'd say, good and bad. I've had like random experiences with men. Like for example, when I first started tattooing, I was trying to get into it, and I'm from a really small town, and it was pretty much all men tattooing there and every shop. So when I was trying to reach out to different shops to like push my way in and get an apprenticeship, I was turned down a lot. And, you know, I heard things like, it's just not a good environment. Like tattooing can just be so dangerous for women to get into, which they're not entirely wrong, but it's like, maybe you could be the person that makes the change. And so luckily I did end up finding a good shop to get my foot in the door. But I don't know, I've had like random experiences too. I feel like other male tattoo artists still will kind of discredit women and myself and say that we only get clients because people want to fuck us. And I think that that's just totally unfair and like discredits all the hard work we do to be here, and we deserve it. And people come to us for our work. They do.
The style that I think that I specialize in would be some sort of black work, line work, sort of geometric, or potentially like Art Deco inspired. I've always really loved solid, bold black and bold lines mixed with thin lines to create contrast with skin tones and bold art. I definitely did not think that I would be doing that when I first started tattooing. I've been tattooing for 14 years, so at the beginning I was kind of just doing whatever anybody brought me. I didn't really have like a specific style that I was really attracted to yet. So I kind of just flowed from loving doing line work into realizing like how strong that kind of style can be.
I feel like I specialize in a little bit of a range. I like to do realism, micro-realism, fine line, a little bit of everything in between, just not too much color. When I started, I thought I was gonna do a lot more realism, just because that's kind of what I would draw more. I like drawing a lot with pencil, and with that, naturally, it was like a lot of micro detail. And I feel like that's just what my clientele just started booking for, and here I am. That's what I'm doing.
The style I'd say I specialize in is mainly more on the fine line side. I do enjoy mostly tattooing anime related things. I think I do a good balance of like things that are on like sort of realism, but they still have sort of at the same time like I guess stylized, you know, like type of look. So not exactly realistic. I like to put my own like twist or creative feel on things, but for the most part, fine line, yeah. I grew up with 2 older brothers. I watched a lot of anime. When I first started drawing, I would just start with those like books that just like taught you like step-by-step tutorials on how to draw, and then kind of took it from there. So I did want to go more this route.
So hard to say style, but I feel like it's a mix of like traditional and maybe some fine line and elements. So yeah, I feel like I base most of my style on like traditional. I first started drawing and painting a lot of realism and portraits, so I always thought that eventually that'd be more what I was gonna do.
I specialize more in black and gray realism. What made me go more into that style was always as a kid, I would always draw. I was always the kid with a notebook, and I was just always drawing, and I will always just lean more towards realism. But getting into tattooing, I didn't think that I was going to do black and gray realism. So it's kind of like a shock to little Lupita by how much I really do. I was leaning towards the more easy part. I was like, I'm just gonna go in with a 3-liner, do some little stripper shading, and just do that forever, you know? And especially like going into color, I never really thought I was going to do that. And just starting tattooing, going more into it, meeting more people, just seeing what really great artists are doing with realism, it just made me love it and made me want to go more into it.
I specialize in black and gray realism and surrealism, and I also do some fine line illustrative black and gray as well. I did not think I was going to do black and gray realism or illustrative. I thought I was going to do either Japanese traditional or like colorful neo-traditional, because I used to love making very highly colorful art before I was a tattoo artist.
I would like to do more,
just more of anything where I have the times I've had complete creative freedom are like the times I've been most proud of my work, and I feel like me and my client were equally just as like wowed.
Larger scale work, like things that might take me multiple sessions. I usually do offer discounts if they, you know, are open to how I want to do things and open to different kinds of like artistic freedoms. But yeah, any kind of like large scale work, like give it to me.
I would love to do more Art Deco inspired, like large scale pieces, leg sleeves, arm sleeves, full backs, full body, torso. I would be absolutely stoked to do that. And I actually have one coming up soon, so I'm really excited to showcase that.
I want to do really big, large-scale pieces. Give me your backs, give me your thighs, give me everything that you have, please. I will give you something nice.
Some designs that I've been really wanting to do is like really large-scale black and gray, like surrealism. I want to do more painterly looking like lady faces that look Victorian and have some weird like double exposure effects, and you know, my normal stuff. I miss doing glass pieces too. Like I love to tattoo things that look like glass. I just really like anything like vintage and gothic, and like also like kind of like from the future a little bit. I want to do more stuff like that for sure.
I have a ton of artists that have inspired me. A lot from, I mean, Instagram, just from watching people, you know, definitely like Valerie Vargas. I feel like everyone knows her by YouTube stuff, so I love her work. I love a lot of like local people too. I feel like Rose really inspired me, who I work for now. Becca Lerner on Instagram. Sarah Rosa Corazon on Instagram.
Remember, Oriana was a huge inspiration for me. He's so kind and genuine, and he really inspired me to just keep going and keep tattooing no matter where I ended up, he was just like, just make art and make people feel happy and give them something that they can enjoy for the rest of their life.
Pretty much all of my inspirations are the queer community, women, LGBTQ+. Like, I'm very deep into that environment. It's where I feel safest. I would say a really big inspiration when I was looking to start, there was a YouTuber in high school that I really loved, and she went the tattooing route. And I had just watched her when she just did art. And so when I saw her do tattooing route, like later on, I was kind of like, whoa, like, that's cool. That's just someone that I can really like recollect that. But I love her stuff. She's super inspirational. I'm so deep on the internet, so many different social media people, just tons of inspiration.
I actually had two artists. It was Anna_MT, something like that, and she would do a lot of really big pieces with 3-liners, and I just looked so much up to her and was like, wow, if she can do that, I feel like I can do it too. And then also there was another artist who his name is D'Angelo Inks. When I found out what tattooing was through him when I was like in 7th grade, and I found his page by like a girl who got tattooed by him, and I started following him, and he would always comment on like my artwork and be like, damn, this is really good, and it just gave me so much motivation to like, if he can do it, like I can do it too. And I just really went into that because of him, so shout out D'Angelo.
I had a lot of inspirations getting into tattooing, and then that like continuing tattooing, I found more. Some like women that I definitely like, it made me feel when I saw them before I started tattooing that this is a place for me too, because they're doing it. In Dallas, obviously Deanna, she was on Ink Master and she's so badass, and I think that that really inspired me. Same with like Ryan Ashley. There is this one woman from my hometown actually who has been tattooing for longer than any of the men that have been tattooing there, and she owned a shop and it was called Dermographics. Her name's Sandy, and she doesn't tattoo anymore. She's retired from it. She's in, she's just past that age where like it's just hard on her body, and I just thought she was just the most baddest ass woman ever. She's so intelligent and she played smart with her money. People like respect her because she has been in this industry for so long. When I worked for her, she would talk to me and give me advice, and it's like she didn't have to do that, but I feel like it was just, I just loved it. I loved her. I think she inspired me very heavily.
I am super grateful to be a tattoo artist because of not only just the freedom of creating my own schedule, but being able to create art for people that they get to wear on their bodies for the rest of their life, bringing their vision that they have scrambled in their head or on 100 notes on their phone, and being able to create a concise design that fulfills all the things that they want out of a tattoo that they get to carry around forever. I'm also just really grateful for the community of artists and the inspiration that everyone brings to me on a daily basis. Just even hanging out at the shop and chatting with the girls, like, it's just a really fun and exciting and rewarding job to have.
There's so many things that make me so grateful to be an artist, do art, express myself. It comes with a lot of independence, allowing me to be free and just, express myself. I'm so grateful for the friendships and the community it's brought me, the connections with my clients, just relating, feeling not alone. You meet so many new people and have so many different conversations, and a lot of them are super fulfilling. You get to be there in support of some people's big moments, their first tattoos, matching tattoos with family and friends, or tattoos for loved ones. It's just beautiful. I'm grateful. I've learned so much. I've grown so much since I've started tattooing. Being in so many different spaces, it's brought me a lot. It's how I support myself, and I couldn't ask for more.
What makes me grateful to be a tattoo artist is how much I've grown as a person. I have really come out of my shell because of tattooing. Like, it's made me a happier person. Like, I feel like I've found my reason to be here, and I feel like I help people and I feel like I connect with people, and that's really awesome. And I think it's made me more social and not as shy as I used to be, so I can like actually talk to people and not like just, I used to be completely mute, but like you're forced to talk to people and connect with people and be vulnerable, so it makes you like just a better communicator in general. I am very appreciative of tattooing for that reason, just becoming a better person.